Hello, hello. Make sure everything is good here. Waiting on the live to start, and there we go. Hi, family. So let's get our groove on tonight. How's everyone doing? Thank you for joining. Go get your cup, whatever you need, some water. I got my water on hand. You know how I get. And keep coming on in. I see you. Hey, family. Hello. All right, family. So good to see you. Welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart with Lady Love. Get my other sound checks here in place, and we are looking good. Here we go. All right, so welcome. Hey, sweetheart. Welcome, beautiful hearts, to another episode. Tonight, of course, we are continuing with season 2. And what is season 2 about? We're talking about tools, courage, and living on purpose. Absolutely. And so tonight, our conversation is going to be about interrupting stress in real time. We ain't playing. We got to handle this real quick, right? Because stress doesn't always announce itself and be like, hey, I'm coming. Here it comes. Sometimes it rises in your body before it even reaches your mouth, correct? Have you ever paid attention to that? Sometimes it can hit so fast that by the time you notice it, honey, your peace already gone. Right? And you be thinking, dang, what happened? Because that's just how fast it can happen. And that is why our word for today is going to be one of my favorite, which is one that we have to use more often than not, is pause. So let's go ahead and type pause in the chat, and on TikTok, show me some hearts. If you would, so I know on TikTok that your hearts mean pause for me too. And let's keep those hearts going so that we can get those algorithms up. I love you so much. Thank you for that. And we're going to focus on the pause. So we're talking about interrupting it in real time. Because think about this. Just because stress shows up, it doesn't have to take over. It doesn't mean that it gets to lead the way. Okay? When stress shows up, that doesn't mean that it needs to lead the way. So when stress hits fast, are you more likely to react quickly or shut down quietly? I know for me, and from my experience, mine has been to shut down quietly. And why is that? Well, for me, when I get that fast hit too, I tend to strive to shut down because I'm trying to not let the wrong things come out. And I'm wanting to protect other people's feelings. I'm wanting to protect my own feelings. So the shutdown came from that. And it's kind of quietly, because even if I go overboard and kind of get more into something, I still shut down at the latter part of whatever I'm feeling, because at that point I'm really into why did I get that way so fast? You know, trying to evaluate what happened. And when you're evaluating what happened for yourself, do your best not to include what the other person or situation, I'm going to say people, because right now we're talking about, say, in the conversations. Don't focus on what was said to you. Don't focus on whether others are wanting to be accountable for their role in a situation like that. That's not your focus. That's their focus when they want to do that. But for yourself, focus on how you got there that quick. And I've learned more about knowing that I got there quicker because I did not pause. You know, sometimes it just hits. So drop a comment in there. Let me know if you're an A or a B. Do you respond quickly? Or I should say react quickly. Or shut down quietly? I see you. Yes, I get it. I get it. I love it. So, we know that with this, we need help, correct? I see you, Daddy. Pause with the hearts. Absolutely. That is for sure. So, tonight is not about pretending that stress is not real. Let's make sure that that is clear. Because stress is real. The pressure from stress is real. And hard moments are real. And we are very imperfect. Okay? We are perfectly imperfect. So if any of you that are listening and focusing in, just remember that we are accountable for ourselves and responsible for ourselves. And as far as I know, none of us living in this world today are perfect. Unfortunately, some people feel that they are perfect, but that's a part of imperfection as well. Let's think about that one. So, tonight is all about truth. Peace sometimes starts with a pause, and most times, peace starts with a pause. So we don't have to let stress run the whole moment, though. See, the challenge is once it hits, how to, well, first, when it hits, before you can pause, now you got to figure out how to put the pause in place after it has hit. What am I going to do now? You're already in the midst of it. It's in real time. It's flowing. My blood pressure is up. My voice is elevated. The sweat is standing up on the back of my neck. What do I do now? And the other person is saying things that make it worse. Right? So, what are you going to do now? You don't have to let the stress run the whole moment. It doesn't have to run the whole moment. It doesn't have to run your mouth. It doesn't have to run your body or your choices. But it definitely will try. Right? It's going to try. So, sometimes it starts very quietly. What does that actually mean? It can start in your shoulders. Do you realize that some people are so stressed that they have become used to having tight shoulders? Because that's a favorite place for stress to hang out, is in your shoulders. And for me, it's definitely in my shoulders. And when I started getting massages on a regular basis, and I would get the report, ooh, your neck is so tight, your shoulders are so tense, this is where your stress likes to hang out. And at the time, I'm feeling like, okay, it's up there. But once it was relieved, I was like, man, that's crazy. Because you can't miss what you never had. And if you're not accustomed to getting massages, first of all, family, I highly, highly recommend massages. Head to toe. And if you can't do the head to toe, the feet can touch every nerve up in your body if you go to the right masseuse that know what they're doing. Okay. So that part you got to do and figure, you know. But I have one that I can recommend. But this hubby and I, we were getting our massages once a month on the beat, like a standing appointment. And when you're consistently getting that, along with we were doing chiropractic care, that was relieving the stress. And I'm saying this to note that we walk around like a time bomb full of stress triggers. And that was one. Walking, you don't even realize your shoulders will be so tight from stress because we become accustomed to it. And what about your stomach? You have some people that say that their stomach is always upset. Every time something happens, they got to go to the bathroom, or they get that rumbling feeling in their stomach. It can be from the stress. That could be one of your first signs, one of your triggers. Your thoughts. Okay, so I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? We know about the thoughts. The thought ones we can get with. We understand that one, right? Because we know what those thoughts come in and say. And then what about your tone of voice? You're having a conversation, you're in a situation, and you notice your tone has changed from the calmness that you approach the situation to the irritation and fascination of the conversation. And for some, it'd be like the elevation in the voice, and some is like a drop in the voice. However, you know what yours is. So then small things begin to happen, and suddenly your whole piece has shifted. Just like that. Just shifted, right? Absolutely. I see you all. How many of you can relate to the shift in your stress? The shift in your peace to stress. And you be like, what just happened? So those shifts, they are the interruptions, the inconvenience. That one disappointment is all it's going to take for that shift to happen. Absolutely. Yes, yes, and yes. I know, right? It rises and you do not have time to react. And you do it anyway. Absolutely. I see you on there, Facebook. So, this is what happens. What if the pause is something that saves the moment? That pause. What if the pause protects the conversation? That pause, protecting the conversation. What if that pause protects the relationship? See, a pause can be very powerful. A pause is powerful. What if the pause protects your peace? And finally, what if that pause actually shifts your next decision? Yes, absolutely. I see you. Yes, yes. I'm so glad I'm not by myself. So the key line here is that this, in this pause, is this is wisdom. This is wisdom, family, in motion. Wisdom in motion. We know what stress in motion looks like, feels like, lives like, because that's what we are accustomed to doing. We're on autopilot with that. But there's wisdom in motion that we're going to learn more about. And we mentioned earlier, well, I started talking about how stress leaves clues. Talked about it in the shoulders, the breathing. You realize some people begin to hold their breath more or breathe faster even before they've started yelling from it coming out loud. See if your breathing changes, right? That'll be a really good way to do that, because the kind of clues it leaves is, like I said, the shoulders, the breathing, irritation, and believe it or not, silence. I know silence is another one for me, because if I'm feeling some kind of way, or I can tell that what I'm hearing is from my perspective a bunch of crap, right? We tend to focus on being quiet so that we don't say something. Even though the something could be true, it could come out wrong. Correct? So that silence of, okay, so now why am I getting silent? And that's your clue. You know, so you really have to begin to learn yourself and study yourself. See, the challenge that most people have is they studying everybody else. Studying what so-and-so doing, what other so-and-so doing, all the so-and-sos and the days in the world. Y'all know how I feel about what they say. All the days in the world is what people are worrying about. Worry about you. Focus on you. Because when we do that, all these stresses in the world, all the people that have access to you, that you allow into your peaceful environment, only you can control what happens next in your life, in your moment. Okay? So the silence, then you can have the negative self-talk, and then the snap, crackle, and pop. That's another one for me. Okay, I got my AC. Now, hold on. Let me fix my fan, y'all. Because you know I usually have it around my neck. But, okay, there we go. I feel a little more breeze now. Because y'all see my forehead swing? Y'all know girl can't be hot. That's one of my moments that I'm going to be stressed out and start snapping. So, back to this. Now, that feels so much better. And then the feeling of being overwhelmed. When you feel that overwhelmness, all of these are clues. So what is the key question here? What does stress feel like in me before I react? Because we're going to learn how to respond, but those stress clues are reactions, right? Those are reactions. So think about that for a moment. What does stress feel like in you before you react? And try to pick that one thing. So this is what I mean. You got to really pay attention to yourself as to how you do that. Because that pause is power. Say that with me. Pause is power. Pause is power. Absolutely. So we live in a world that rewards speed. Everything is fast-paced. People answer fast. We react fast. We want things fixed fast. But healing does not always happen fast. Another example we can use for that, let's say if you're saving up money, and you're saving, and you've been saving for the longest. How long does it take for you to spend it? Whatever you're saving up for, Just giving this as an example, the work that is put in, and then how quick it's done, it's over. Now you got to start that process over, right? So it doesn't always happen fast. Wisdom does not always sound fast. Sometimes the strongest thing that you can do when this hits is to slow down just enough to choose your next step. Woo! And you're going to be so proud of yourself when you do it. Because I have been in many situations now, even currently in my work environment, in my home environment, in my social environment, in my spiritual environment, in my environments of life, where I have been able to recognize and see and apply the tools in real time. That's why when I come to you and share my heart, it's coming from a place of practice. It's coming from a place of, I know what I know about what I'm feeling like. And if I know I'm a human being, and I trust that you are human beings, you know, you never know what you're getting out there these days. I'm just saying. But if you are, I know I can't help it, then you know where I'm coming from. Okay? So, you got to shut down just enough to make that shift, make that pause. And so pause is not weakness. Pause is actually leadership. You're leading by example when you can pause. Make sense? Ask for your power. You have your power, right? And you're the one with it. Nobody's going to give it to you. It's already there. You have to make the choice to grab it and use it. And so the practice tool that's going to go with that is pause, breathe, name, choose. Pause, breathe, name, choose. Pause, breathe, name, choose. So that pause, that breath gives you that opportunity to say, what's happening now? That's the name it. What's happening now? It could be, I'm feeling stressed. I need a second. Wait a minute. Hold on, Sean. That's mine. Hold on, Sean. I say that to me, and I tend to say it to others at times, depending on where I am in the midst of something. And my other one, when I know that I have to, one of my other clues is when I get ready to start a sentence, and I say, first of all. How many of you know about the first of all, right? With the neck and everything in the hand. First of all, right? We know all about that. And then, so when you're doing that, and then you finally choose, okay, so what do I need to do? Let's do like a mini practice. Breathe, pause, name, choose. And say that to yourself. Right? Pause, breathe, name, and choose. Hello. I see you. Give me some more of those hearts out there. I see you, family. Keep on hitting on the hearts for me. I appreciate you so much. And I see you over here on my Facebook. Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, family. So, we're going to take a purple power pause. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath in and we're going to let it out. Then we're going to take another breath in and we're going to let it out. I'm going to say a sentence and then you say the sentence. Okay? Because you can't say it with me until I tell you what it is. So you have to just repeat after me. So, the deep breath in, we can do that together. So let's take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. Let your stuff hold up in here. And let it go. Let's do that again. In through your nose and out slowly through your mouth. Just doing that, do you feel a difference from like 30 seconds ago? Do you feel calmer? Do you feel even the slightest brownness from just taking 2 breaths? Now say this after me. I do not have to react to every stressful moment. Your turn. I do not have to react to every stressful moment. I want us to think about these as we're thinking. We don't have to do that, do we? Next one. I can pause and choose peace. I can pause and choose peace. Your turn. Pause and choose peace. Yes. I can also have this one. And these are, like I said, be good to remember. My pause is power. That's a very simple one, right? My pause is power. Your turn. Again. My pause is power. Yes. And finally, remember I said there is no standing still in life. We're either growing or dying. That silent edge makes a big difference. Absolutely. The last one. I am learning to respond on purpose. Got it? I am learning to respond on purpose. Your turn. Learning to respond on purpose. Yes. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. So, the next thing that we see with this is we're interrupting a pattern. Let's think about that. We're interrupting a pattern. So what we can call, now this is going to hit home, and I know it hit home for me. Well, it did, but it didn't, because I always have thought this. Sometimes what we call just how I am, how many of us say that? It's just how I am. Is really just an unchallenged stress pattern. What you mean that's just how you are? And none of us just how we are. We all have become who we have become by our background, our choices, our environments, our parents, our background, all of that. And then we still have the power to choose. So if you really think about it, if you say you're just some kind of way and don't have an explanation even for yourself, doesn't that even sound stressful? And that's why it is an unchallenged stress pattern. Because how many things do you say that about? Something to think about, isn't it? Absolutely. Yes, yes. Thank you. Absolutely. So when you begin interrupting stress in real time, you start interrupting the cycle as well. Because remember, the stress signals have been in us, have put us on autopilot, where we're just walking around like stress agents in the world, not even realizing how stressed we are until we get other things and break a cycle by having regular massages, visiting the chiropractor. These are things that even outside of your environment that you can't change, The things that you're treating your body with helps you to change. And as that helps you to change, your thoughts will change. And as your thoughts change, you will begin to break the pattern. Okay? So when that happens and you start interrupting the cycle, your tone is going to change. Your thinking, your relationships, your body, and your home. Your home is the environment that is supposed to be, in my opinion, the most peaceful place to be in your life. See, and why is that though? Because that's where you do have control of your environment. You don't have any control of anything when you step outside your door. Now, a lot of people think they do, but they really don't. And if they do, it's because someone is allowing you to feel that way or to be that way. Those people who go silent instead of addressing something. People that avoid a situation because of the stressfulness of it. See, that part, you can't control that. But your home environment, in my opinion, should be your safe haven. Things are really bad when you do not want to be at home. Just something to think about. And again, this is my opinion, which means it's not right or wrong, it's mine. Some people think that an opinion is something that you're trying to make be a fact for somebody else. It's a fact for me because it's mine. Remember, nothing has meaning except the meaning you give it. Right? So you see how all this connects? Absolutely. So, key line. Learning to pause does not just change the moment, it can change the momentum. So we're doing like this, it's going, and then we pause, and now the momentum has slowed. And it also can reverse that momentum backwards or into another direction. Anything other than going forward much faster. That makes sense? So, what would change in your life if you paused more often before reacting? If you feel comfortable, put that in the chat for me. Yes, the slight edge makes a big difference. Absolutely. You better know it. All right, I see you. I see you. Let me see those hearts again and again and again on TikTok. I love you so much. And we will take this, because we're coming to a close at 7:36. You know, family, I talked about how important and how much I value this show. I am sharing from my heart. And if this is something that you feel helps you, do me a favor and share it. Make sure you're following me if you're with me. And share it with somebody that you feel needs this. Just share it with them. And also know that I do this work beyond this show. This show is my platform to share from my heart, but I also bring it live. I also go and share in the community. And I'm also looking to share even more. So I speak, I teach, and I help people process life, shift perspectives, and move more and more with intention, with healing and purpose. So if you're looking for a speaker, or you know someone that's looking for one for a women's event, group, church, school, teams, community, I do it all when it comes to that, because anywhere there are people, I have something to share, and I love doing it. So I want to make sure that you know that. And this season is also helping. Remember, what am I doing this season? We're launching the 10-year anniversary of How to Love, Stress, and Live Longer. Can you believe that it's been 10 years? I just still trip out about that. And that 10-year anniversary is so important because I'm able to raise the pages off the book of tools that I have, that I created 10 years ago, and have been living it and learning from it and applying it. And look, we're at 10 years and I'm still learning what I wrote. Or should I say, how to practice more of what I wrote then, right? So I'm excited about that. So that's going to be coming up. And let's bring it home with this. This tool that I just gave with this pause, and just think about it, family. It can help in family conversations, at work, look, in traffic. Told y'all I'm allergic. It can help in grief. The pause. In grief. It can help when you're feeling overwhelmed. When you feel misunderstood. When emotions are close to the surface, that pause can help bring it back down. Right? Sometimes the interruptions, they sound like, let me show you what that sounds like. Let me breathe for a second. You can actually say that to someone, you know. Let me breathe for a second. You can say, look, I need a minute. And family, when someone says they need a minute, mine is I put a pin in it. And some people have the audacity to get upset with you because you want to put a pin in it. But that's not your problem. That's their problem. Because we're talking about your peace. So what they would have to do is the same thing that we're teaching, just in reverse. They didn't like it, so they may need to put a pause in it, because now that's got to rise in them, and they got to be in tune with it. They got to breathe, respond, name it, choose, right? You see how this just is a win-win-win, win-win, third power win for everybody. So those are all healing sentences. So in closing, you can catch it sooner, you can breathe sooner, and protect your peace sooner. So again, if tonight was beneficial to you, make sure that you share. You can feel free to inbox me and share things. I have a few things, and I think what I'm going to start doing is highlighting some concerns or things that have been sent to me. And thank you, to share, because people are starting to, well, I'm reaching my goal, and that's the goal of reaching people, to help them understand that life is lifing and stress is stressing, right? However, it does not have to rule. And I love to hear the aha moments of application from the things that I do my best to teach and preach. And like I said, I'm not perfect. Oh yes, I do have my moments. Oh, I will blow up. But, well, now I say this for next week, because I had a situation, and I did, but then I got it together, and I was so proud of myself. But it was amazing what I needed to do to relieve myself. And it was something I had not done before. So I'll share that too. But I'll begin to share some things at the end. I may take a few minutes, and of course I'll never mention names or things. I will just say about a situation, or, I call everybody my babies. So you probably will just hear this. one of my babies reached out to me, and this is, you see what I'm saying? Because I don't want to put anybody out on the street. Out on the street? Why we say that? Anyway, I don't want to put anybody out there, but myself. And I don't have a problem putting myself out there, because that's how you know where I'm coming from and how I relate to you and 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 to you, right? So next week we're going to be talking about consistency is a form of courage. Did you know that? Consistency is a form of courage. So be looking for that this week, family. It is 7:45. I am looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great, great week. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you're hearting me. And respond. Don't react. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great one. Oh, I need to turn the volume up, y'all. You know, I be tripping with my music, no. And I don't understand. But it's okay. Right? Hey. Hey, sweetie. So, guys, be ready to look for the playback. I will have those up on YouTube. And I'm working on getting that more organized and in sync. But yes, and everything is under Heart to Heart with Lady Love. All of my platforms. So look for me. I love you. Have a great, great week on purpose.